No, that one is not that one.
Then look out for life as a wolf instead of being stuck in a little cage somewhere. Our first pack is over on this side. Good boy, River. Keep coming. Rainy, you coming? Come on, this will pay for dinner. Look, River's getting a treat. Better hurry up.
Oh, he's running. He's like, I'm coming.
Come on, Keisha. These are timber wolves, and timber wolves are anywhere from a blonde to a black color. Lots of different color phases to them. And wolves aren't that large of an animal. The average size for a male is about 90 to 100 pounds. The females are only about 80 to 90 pounds. A lot of us have dogs at home which are well over 100 pounds. Most people think of a wolf, they think of a big massive dog. But actually they're a very skinny animal. Need to remain skinny so they can be fast and catch their prey. But in the wintertime, they grow in such a heavy coat of fur that they look twice their size. And most pictures you'll see of wolves are done in the winter when they have that full coat of fur. In the summertime, like now, they'll shed all that winter fur out. You'll see big clumps of fur coming out of them. They'll shed that winter fur out. They keep a short summer coat, and a lot of times people come back in the summer and think that we've stopped feeding the animals. These guys are waiting for their morning snack. What I'm going to throw them in here is a few pieces of dog treats, just so I could feed your dogs at home. Today they're getting dried beef liver. We try to keep it all natural here. As you can see, their homes are large enough where they could go to the other end and hide. We sure couldn't raise any money if everybody's looking at an empty compound. We give them a reward for coming down to the fence. Keisha, you go, that one's yours. All right, good catch. River, you go, that one's yours. All right, Rain, right by the tree, don't let your brother steal it. All right, Teton, yours over there, buddy. Now over on the other side, we have another pack of timber wolves. Everybody's sleeping. These are also timber wolves, and timber wolves are from Canada or northern United States. They're the wolves we had here in New Jersey about 100 years ago. We haven't had any wolves in New Jersey for about 100 to 120 years. That's how long ago they were wiped out by man. There's no difference between the black ones and the brown ones, just a black color to their fur. About 10 wolves in every 100 will be born black. Probably the number one thing in a wolf's head when it's born is to be afraid of human beings. In the wild, one scent of a human and they run and hide. They say they could smell almost a mile away in the woods. That's all the way back down past the campground. Wolves, in fact, are so afraid of humans, there has never been a case of a wolf attacking a human in the United States, ever. It's all from folklore and fairy tales. The reason that these come to the fence for you to see and they're not hiding in the back like a wild wolf would do is that we've raised them from puppies. When they're born, we left them with the parents for about 4 weeks so they can get their nutrients they need from the mother's milk. Then we took them from the den and spent 2 months raising them. That first couple months of their lives is their bonding time. It's who they're going to learn to trust for the rest of their lives. So we take them out, we get them familiar and comfortable with humans, or accepted as part of the pack. We get them all their shots they need from the veterinarians, then we put them back in and the parents take over raising them. Unlike some other animals, which might not accept an infant back in if it has the smell of a human on it, wolves will take any puppy into their pack, even if it's not their own. They're a family animal. They love pups and love to take care of them. Even in cases we've taken a domestic puppy into their pack. It could be any kind of dog we have at home, because they feel no threat from a little puppy, but they do feel threatened by a full-grown adult. You guys waiting for your snacks? Night song, wake up. Come on, old lady, you can do it. That's our oldest one. She's 14 years old. That's 98 years old in human years. All right, come on, Night Song. You ready? Arden's going to steal everybody's treats. So Arden, yours is going way back. There you go. All right. Night Song, that one's for you. Hurry up before he gets it.
Are these the 4 new puppies you raised?
No.
Come back.
Tico, try that one there, buddy. All right, Tico, try that one. All right. All right. The last ones, they're 3 years old is the last time we had 4 puppies. So that's 3 years ago, and that's 2 of them. Arden in the back. Oh no, these 2 right in the middle now, the 2 that are 3 years old. I have a lot more to tell you. We got more to see. We're going to go up to the top. We have some benches to sit down, and I'll continue up there. The rest of the pack members are sometimes the brothers and sisters of the alpha pair, and all of the offspring of the babies from the alpha pair. The mothers have to lick their bottoms to stimulate them to go to the bathroom. So we have to do, we call poop them. I didn't lick them. I didn't lick them. We have to pat their bottoms with a warm, wet towel every time you bottle feed them to get them to go. But believe it or not, they get back up inside and maybe die from it. It's a very long procedure of getting them weaned out to solid foods, and going to the bathroom by themselves, getting them all their inoculations they need before we put them back in and the parents take over raising them. When we do first put them back in, what they'll do is lick and bite at the faces of the adults after they've eaten. They call it soliciting. They will solicit the adults to regurgitate or throw up food for them. And that's what they live off of the next couple of weeks. Then eventually they learn how to chew on the deer meat that we feed them. Wolves are a carnivore, or meat eater. They say they'll eat anything from a mouse to a moose. But their main diet is any kind of a grazing or grass-eating animal. We feed them all deer meat here. I work with the state police and the local communities. They call us anytime there's a deer hit by a car. We'll pick those deer up. We work with some farmers here in North New Jersey that have permission to shoot the deer when they're destroying their crops. We'll take those deer. We also end up buying a lot of meat. We feed close to 50,000 pounds of meat a year here. Quite a bit. I'll feed two different ways. So I'm feeding the meat that we have bought. It looks like hamburger, but deer meat has been all ground up. We'll buy 50-pound frozen blocks, cut into smaller pieces. We'll throw each wolf in a frozen block of meat that's about 3 pounds. They all get fed about 3 pounds of meat a day. Some people think it's strange we feed it to them frozen. The reason I feed it frozen is, like I said earlier, whenever there's food around, the alphas will eat first, and they'll gobble down as much as they can. If there's not enough to go around, some of the lower-ranking members might not get anything to eat. But if we leave it frozen, they all run in and grab their piece. They run back in the woods and sit down. It takes them a couple of minutes to chew through it and eat it. Gives everybody a chance to run in and grab their own piece. So we know they're all fed every day. Doesn't bother them that it's frozen. In the wild there, to find a moose that died of starvation and was frozen in a snowbank, they wouldn't pass up that free meal. Tongue, they'll eat the tongue, yep.
Teeth.
The teeth, you got it, good job, the teeth. You get a treat. Teton, you want it, buddy? Here you go. This here's the only part of the deer they won't eat, the jawbone and the teeth. Some of the hardest bones of the body that don't break them up. Whenever I go into pens, these guys will ever find their jawbones and teeth. The reason they can chew up and eat all those other bones in that deer is the amount of pressure they have in their jaws. On average, your dogs at home will have about 700 pounds of pressure in their jaws. A wolf has 1,700 pounds. They say it's enough to shatter the leg bone of a moose with one bite. One reason they don't make a good house pet. Even just playing, they can do some serious damage. Now, wolves will howl for a bunch of different reasons. The main reason they howl is to join or rally the pack together. When one member starts howling, it's a sign for all the rest to join in. They all have their own voice, and they can tell each other's voices apart, so they know that everybody's here and everybody's okay. They howl when they're sad. They howl when they're excited. They howl when they hear a fire siren off in the distance. They howl at that fire siren because they think it's another pack intruding on their territory. But it's a different howl. They'll change the tone of their voices up and down throughout that howl to make a pack of 20 wolves sound like a pack of 40 and fool that neighboring pack, even though here it's only a fire siren. Some people say my dog at home howls fire sirens. One of the reasons could be what most biologists believe is that the wolf is the very first canine, or the very first dog. And in over 20,000 years of evolution, all other dogs have come from a wolf. Personally find it hard to believe a Chihuahua came from a wolf, but that's what they say, so who knows. They don't howl at the moon. They howl more often during a full moon because the pack will travel and hunt more. It's easier for them to see their prey. They howl before the hunt to join their pack together, or after the hunt to join their pack together. They lift their heads up so their voices carry, and man has turned into them howling at the moon so you heard them more often. A little bit later we'll see if we can get them to howl again. Now wolves will live about 12 to 14 years in captivity. It's only about 5 to 7 years that live in the wild. And last, our 3 ways that we raise money to feed these guys and take care of them is the people like yourselves coming in to visit, so thank you very much for coming in today. Our second way is through a sponsorship program to sponsor one of the wolves for a year. All that information is in our brochure. And our third way is through photography. That's what these panels and the fencing are for. In New Jersey, we're not allowed to let anybody in the compounds with the animals. Photographers will pay for guided tours through the walkways. These panels open up, and we work with pieces of meat, try to get them set up as best we can. We can't really say sit or stay. They don't listen. We get them in the area that they like. And most pictures you'll see in catalogs and magazines of wolves are done at a photography preserve. The one to get a picture of a wolf in the wild is pretty close to impossible. Again, one scent of a human, and they're gone. About it for my part on the wolves. Hopefully I covered everything. I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody had questions. Sure.
safely without any fear of...
Yep. My wife and I have raised them all from babies, been with them every day of their lives. We're accepted as part of the pack. I go and pens them all every day.
I just wanted, because you said earlier you take care of them when they were little.
Yep.
I wanted now that they're...
And that's the reason, so we can get them used to us and they trust us. Yep.
can do that.
But even though we've raised them from this big, we respect the fact that's a wild animal. You can't take that wildness out of them. You have to be smart about what you're doing and aware of your surroundings when you're in enclosure with them. But I go and pens them all every day.
What do you do about fleas and ticks and things? Do they get shots for that, or?
No, I mean
dog?
fleas. We give them a medication called Sentinel, which is like a heart guard medicine, and it covers parasites and it also covers fleas. We can't really get ticks off them in this environment. They're going to get ticks on them, so there's really not much we can do about it. But they really don't have a big problem with Lyme's disease. My theory is, if you think about it, in the wild they hunt the sick and diseased out of the herds, so they have a super good immune system to handle things like that. So they really don't have a problem with the Lyme's disease at all. All right. Over on the other side here, again, we have a couple of our old timers, and in the mornings they get their glucosamine for their joints. So you can get them to come over. Come on, Khalees. Nice song. Kiko, come get your medicine. Kick. Nice song. Kiko, come on, buddy. Nice job. Come on, man. Nice song. Are you coming? Give me a good loud one.